Hey guys, what's going on? StormRider36 here, and today I got a post-Battlefront gameplay commentary for you. I'm playing Flying Squadron, right? I don't know. Anyway, these are just my thoughts on the game. You know, I never actually made a video about it. You know, I was playing Call of Duty, and then I played a little bit of Battlefront. It's kind of like that side game that I play for fun, like no competitiveness at all. I don't care if I win or lose. It's all about having fun, having funny moments, you know, all that stuff. But Battlefront is seriously beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's literally a movie within a game. It's a movie. If you had real people in it, I would dare compare it to the actual movies themselves, but they're not real, so therefore, you know, movies are always better than the video games made about them. Because, you know, the movie came first. It's kind of like how the book is usually better than the movie because it's the original. Sometimes it's not always the case, but from most of the time, my experience, it's been the originals are always better than the copies, and that's a scientific fact and theory and whatever. But anyway, you're going to see me, you know, fly around a Millennium Falcon, be a Rebel and an Imperial in this game mode, and I really think that there are game modes that cater to one side rather than the other. So there's Walker Assault, which really caters to the Imperials just because the Walkers are so tanky, they're big, and they're not always vulnerable, and the Imperials can just hold down one of them and the other uplink won't get as many Y-Wings as if they had both. So Walker Assault's catered to Imperials. But then, on the other side, Fire Squad, whatever the flying game mode is, it's escaping me right now, I don't have it right in front of me. But whatever that game mode is, that one's actually catered to the Rebels, because the Rebels, A-Wings, and X-Wings outdamage completely the TIE Interceptor and TIE Fighter. And me personally, I like the Rebel ships better. They feel more maneuverable, they're not quicker, though. That is something I have to mention. They're not quicker, but they're agile, so they can move left, right really fast. But I just don't feel like the TIE ships can do that. TIE ships are fast. They're the fastest ships in the game, and that's because they're Imperials. The Imperials have the money and, you know, all the technology because they are backed by an army. The Rebels have recruits. They don't actually have an army. But in this game mode, the Rebels have the advantage because they know how to make a damn good flying, killing death machine. The A-Wing kills TIE fighters so quickly. TIE Interceptors, you know, if you just pop up your shield, you're at the same level. X-Wings just have the damage output of a monster. They aren't very maneuverable at all. The X-Wings are very slow. But at the same time, if you get behind a TIE Fighter, you're going to beat them because they aren't going to be able to get away from you because your lasers will kill them. You don't even really need to use missiles. And then there's the Millennium Falcon, which is pretty slow, but it has a speed boost on top of the shield, so that's where that balances out. And then Slave 1. Slave 1 is very good, but it's like I said, it's kind of like the silver lining for the Imperials in this game mode. It's really the only good thing they have going for them. But then there's the rest of the game modes that I don't think really cater to anybody. There's Heroes versus Villains, which is just, you know, the heroes versus the villains. That's just better people win, you know. And then there's Hero Hunt, which isn't catering to anybody because it's literally just find the hero and kill him. Then there's the Cargo and Droid and Supremacy, Droid Run, you know, all the different game modes that don't actually cater to his side. It's just back and forth kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of interesting how they incorporated, you know, if you're an Imperial lover, you're going to like Walker Assault. If you're a Rebel lover, you're going to like Firing Squadron or Flying Squad or whatever the hell it's called. And then if you just like Star Wars in general, you're going to like the whole game. And, you know, that's me. I like Star Wars in general. I like the idea, I like the lightsabers, I like the laser blasters. It's so much fun. One thing I always complained about in the beta was, why is there travel time on lasers? That doesn't make any sense, but that was just me being a nerd and trying to be funny to my friends. It was still awesome. And from the beta, it changed a lot. Walker Assault was the only thing we could play in the beta, and Rebels never won at all. The Walkers took so much damage to even get down. There wasn't an ion torpedo to do damage to it. There was only orbital strikes to really do too much damage. Excuse me. And so, you know, it changed really a lot because now people know how to use the snow speeders. They know save orbital strikes. They know be in a good plane and fire on it. Even though I do see a lot of kamikazes, and that's not as good as you think it is. But those are just my thoughts on the differences from the beta. Now you can actually choose a hero. Personally, I don't like that. I liked it better in Battlefront 2, and I was going way back to the PS2, when it depended on the planet is what hero you got to be. And I like that because it's like, you don't get to choose, but when you're doing well enough to actually be the hero and everything. But again, that was a single player game for me anyway. It was very different than this one. This one definitely has a more Battlefield feel to it, just because it's made to be like a Battlefield game, because Star Wars is such a huge universe and the battlefields are so big and there's so many people. It feels like Battlefield more than anything else, but it's still really fun, really interesting, and I love what they did with it. And it actually kind of makes me excited for the Star Wars movie, so I kind of get why they released it now. Because the new movie, I haven't really seen too much on it. I've been hearing stories of, people like the trailers, people don't like the trailers, Disney's going to make it better, Disney's going to ruin Star Wars, what have you, whatever your opinion is. But it's really interesting to find out, that Star Wars is coming back, because I watched the movies, a long time ago, and I haven't thought about them since. Now I'm actually thinking about them, and I actually kind of want to go back and watch the movies before I go and see the new one and all that stuff, and it's just really interesting to me. And Star Wars is awesome. Star Wars, honestly, if it could never change, and people would still love it forever, and that's the amazing part about it. It's just that it is a timeless classic, and it's amazing that way, that it's always going to be a thing, always going to be around. Excuse the clicking, I'm got to do stuff. You can't just record a YouTube video. You got to do homework and everything too, which is a good balance. Like, don't just play the Star Wars game, all right? Actually, you got to do your homework, got to do your work first, then play the Star Wars game as much as you want until you have to get enough sleep. Because don't skip sleep for a video game. Trust me, I did it when I was in high school. It sucked. I was so tired, and I was so tired in the school day. I would just be like, one hand, the old-fashioned. Head on the one hand, the chin on the one hand, and just be like dozing off, teachers yelling at you, and you don't really care because you're like, I got my highest score in Battlefront, I don't care what I'm doing right now. It was just really interesting and fun. But yeah, Battlefront, I love what they did. I can't wait to see what the DLC is going to be. It's going to be amazing. I am so excited, and I really like flying in the game too. The flying is really fun. But this has been StormRider36. Please leave a like and a comment on what you think about Battlefront. Subscribe for more. Watch my channel trailer if you don't know what I do. And this has been StormRider36, and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, what's going on? StormRider36.